as an artist, you know, I make movies. So I never seen, I'm you know young. I've never seen somebody take something that I made and rework it or re-perform it, make it their own. And when we spoke, you said that you never seen somebody perform your music live in front of you. So what that feel like just now?
I got chills. First of all, we gotta give her a round of applause. I got chills watching it, and I was just grateful and thankful. Like seeing it in front of me, it was just like I felt like I was grateful to even. It was almost like I didn't write that song, you know, and then to realize that I did, was like, oh man, it was bigger than me. Like that's, you know, that was for a bigger purpose because it says so much. And it's like it was almost grateful, like, oh God, let me be a part of that. Okay, I appreciate it, thank you. So watching that was like a surreal, very weird moment that I just had. And to let y'all know he was right. I can't, not that I can't, but in order for me to perform that song, I have to return to a place, like mentally and like emotionally, I wouldn't be able to get up and just perform it. I would have to dive into a place that like is really hard to get to. And she did way better than I could do anyway, so it's cool.
I made a film that was based off of seeing video footage of somebody like who looked like me being murdered from where I was from, when you told me that you can't perform that song, I understand, because I can't watch that movie. I can't even hear it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But tell me where your mind was at when you wrote it, and how it felt to get it out. And
it's crazy. Even you saying that, the parallel between obviously when the Oscar Grant thing happened, I saw the video too. This is before I was on with music, and I'll never forget that image. So when I saw you, when I heard about your film and I seen it, I just want to let you know, bro. And every time I see it, I break down, crying like I can't control it, like I'm just leaking. So you really did that man justice in his story, justice with a real classic that's going to, you know, stand the test of time. So I got to commend you for that. But it's funny because that same level of like crying and like breaking down that I experienced just from watching your film is exactly what inspired the song in a sense. But it's gonna be a long story, but I feel like I gotta tell it because I feel like it's so relevant. I was in a place where I was working on an album. My last album that came out, I was in the middle of finishing it. So I was kind of in a, you know, like an artistic, I separate myself. I don't really watch the news much. I don't like social media. I kind of detach myself and I just go in a mode where I got this message that I want to give and this story I want to tell, and I stay in that zone. So there had been stories, and I'm in New York at the time, and you know, Eric Gardner's situation had happened, and around this time, a lot of things were happening, but to me it was like they're always happening, and I feel like with a lot of us it's like that, you know, it's like. Especially a couple years ago, it's like, oh, these things are always happening. We become so numb to it. So it's to a place where it was like, I almost didn't even want to hear about it because it was like too real to handle. So the video was out of this man getting choked by police officers, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it because I just didn't want to go to that place. And it's similar to like, you know, being back home in Fayetteville or like anywhere, like you hear about somebody you came up with or somebody that you don't know that's black and young getting killed, and it's almost like we so used to it that it's just like we give it like, man, you know, we give it that that's messed up, that's crazy, they out here wilding, but do we really dive in and really understand how not normal that is, you know? And I feel like I gave it the generic, like, man, that's messed up, cops always doing this, but I ain't allowed myself to feel because I wouldn't watch the video. Fast forward, the Mike Brown situation happens, and I just happened to catch it live, whether it be on social media or through the news, and I allowed myself to follow. I'm looking at the stories of people that's there watching, talking about how this boy didn't do nothing, like they shot him while he was running away, that he was facing them, no gun, and they killed him. So I'm watching this, and I'm following everything, and I'm allowing myself to like put myself, not just hear about it, not just like say, oh, that's messed up, that, you know, but to actually realize, like, yo, I put myself in his shoes. He's me.
You lived through it.
Yes, I allow myself to, like, put myself in his shoes and be in that moment where we all know, as young black men, we know that moment where you're dealing with a police officer, just like Oscar Grant, where you're dealing with a police officer who's on a power trip, and it's like, you can see from the mannerisms, it's like, oh, yo, this can go bad real quick. And you know that feeling. So I allow myself to, instead of like blocking it, I allow myself to feel that with the Mike Brown situation. And I got so scared, I got so mad. So then after reading, I think it was like maybe even like a Ta-Nehisi Coates article that I read, and just started breaking down crying when I was reading the article. And actually the crying didn't start until I allowed myself to finally watch the Eric Gardner video. And when I watched it, it just, bro, the same emotion I got from watching Fruitvale is the same emotion I felt in my apartment reading that article and allowing myself to feel. And I just told myself, first of all, I allowed myself to feel that, cry for as long as I needed to cry. And then I told myself, I was like, you know what? I told God, I was like, yo, I would like to say something, like in a song. I'm not gonna force it. If it comes, it comes. If it don't come, it don't come. But I would like to be able to be a voice. And lo and behold, that night I was working on something totally different, bro, like a whole nother song. And that it just happened organically. I know that's a long thing, but the reason why I say that, the reason why I say all that is because I feel like the majority of people, at least that I know, and maybe the majority of us, we go through life numb like that. We go
some forced numbness.
Yes. It's like you don't even want to hear it or yield it.